welcome to this live stream. It is a kind of a fascinating situation right here. It's not every day that this happens. Hello everyone. It's not every day that you become a scam victim, so yeah, let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? All good? How's the universe treating you all right now? I mean, like I hope that you are doing great, amazing. This is me trying to give myself therapy right now as life kind of like continues right here. But yes, welcome one and all. Where are you watching from? I hope everybody's having a good post Merdeka right here. And of course, we had the world champions come in. So yeah, like how's everything going? All good? All amazing, so to speak. Hello, John Smith. Thank you so much for and everybody is going to have a little bit of an insight into something that John Smith did just the other day. And yeah, so like thank you for that. And hello everyone. Thank you so much for the wish, John Smith. Where are you watching from? Let me know down in the live chat. Okay. So, as I was kind of hinting at in the title, so I got scammed. it's it's kind of an interesting story which we're gonna get into right about now through this little interaction, which we're gonna go right ahead and start right over here. I'm gonna ask you, have you ever gotten scammed before? I want to know, right? I want to know. I want to know. Like, have you ever been scammed before? Please let me know your thoughts right down in the chat. You're going to be able to join the Slido by using the QR code, which is going to appear right over here at the moment. All right, cool. Go right ahead. Please let me know. Have you ever been scammed before? Have you had that experience? Like, is it something that you have seen that you have really like tried out before? I just kind of want to know, whether other people have experienced this questionable experience before of actually being scammed. But yeah, go right ahead and join in. Yep. Anyway, so I hope everybody's doing great and you are enjoying your public holiday, which is no doubt a bit of a nice, relaxing move after the good old-fashioned Merdeka celebrations. I hope some of you guys got to see like the fireworks, by the way. It seems that there was some like pretty nice fireworks, and that is something that you probably might have seen actually. I mean, like the fireworks were actually, oh wow, okay. One person has gotten scammed before. Yes. Is that John Smith? You got scammed 3 times, once by the Czech Republic, once by a colleague, and one by a business partner, but managed to recover that with a lot of pain. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. In my case, that's probably a bit different from what you experienced, but it sounds like you had a lot of pain and a lot of unpleasantness that came along with that. Well, I don't know whether it's really accurate to say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, especially in this situation right here, but well, like it is what it is. Thank you for stopping by to the live stream. All right, so we have one person who has gotten scammed before. And in Europe, interestingly enough, I don't know whether it's like a common thing in Europe. Like I actually got scammed in Europe as well, like when I was in France once. I was just casually walking by the streets of Paris, and then some random guy comes up to me and then tries to draw me. And then he just goes ahead and draws. And then before I know it, then he's casually asking me for money. And then, well, you kind of know like the rest right there. It's a kind of an interesting experience. Anyway, so thank you to all of you who have just stopped by. So we're doing a bit of a poll right here. Have you gotten scammed before? I want to know about your experiences. Like, where are you watching from? Have you ever been scammed before? Or are you just here to watch the unfortunate pity party and how much I lost? No? Yes? Maybe? I don't know. Like, maybe some of you are just like wondering to yourselves, like, where are we going with this? Okay. I'm happy to leave it at one scam victim. We're gonna go for dinner a little bit later, so I need to well, make this a short one today. But anyway, yes, I was scammed. I, Victor Tan, as of this day of the 1st of September 2025, my birthday aku, hari jadi aku, 我的生日，or俺の誕生日です, was scammed for an unfortunate amount of money. You wanna know how much it was? Who wants to guess? Guess. Let's do it in a bit of a fun way right here. Let's ask you, do you think that it was, all right, so like A, more than RM 1000, 10,000, let's say. B, less than RM 10,000. It's kind of a doozy right here, but let me know in the chat. Like, what do you think? How much was I scammed for? How much was I scammed for? It's not every day that we do something like this, so like we might as well make it fun. Let me know in the chat. Is it A or is it B? A, more than 10,000 ringgit. B, less than 10,000 ringgit. And you know, you can kind of like tell right here by like looking at my facial expressions, you know, or maybe like reading my personality. Is he like smiling like this because he didn't lose that much money, or is he smiling like this because like the way that he takes pain is just unconventional compared to like other people, and he just cannot accept the way that he was scammed? Yeah, I mean, like, let me know. Like, is it A or is it B? You know, it's interesting. Hello, Raja. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for the wish. I really appreciate it. Okay, we have some guesses right here. John says B, because if it's A, I would be meditating at the top of the mountain. Wow. Okay, you know, that's good for you, you know, like, because for some people, you know, like, they would have fallen off the mountain. I'm sorry. I know it's morbid, but like, but it's actually true. You know what I mean? Like, some people would literally like be falling off a mountain. I like your spirit though, because like, you know, to get to the top of the mountain, that suggests that like you even went to the top. Like you actually like climb, you know, like you decided to do some exercise, get out those endorphins, and you actually did some physical exercise. That's good for you. That's good for you, you know? Isabella, A, more than 10,000 ringgit. Well, here's a little fact for you right here. It is the reason that I can just casually take this card right here and reveal it to you. That's right. Let's go right ahead and reveal it. That's right. Along with the expiry. Along with the expiry date. This is what we have right here. This is what we have. This is what happened. Now, this card right here. Yeah, that's right. Read those numbers, sapoops. Go right ahead. Why don't you read it? Read it. Yeah, that's right. Use it as well. Use it as you please. CVV. Yeah, there you go. Try it. I hope some of you took screenshots. That's right. Like, go forth and achieve your dynasty. Okay. Eva Lance, thank you for the birthday wish. We're doing a bit of a guessing right here. How much did he get scammed for? A, is it more than 10,000 ringgit? B, is it less than 10,000 ringgit? Please let me know. A or B? A or B? A, more than 10,000 ringgit. B, less than 10,000 ringgit. Great. Right. I don't know, like if any of you out there have like this experience of being scammed just yet. We were already doing a little bit of a Slido event earlier, but now we're gonna go right ahead and see if we can get more people to talk about your scam experiences. So yeah, like go ahead, join the Slido right here. Have you ever been scammed before? So yeah, I want to see more than one person come in, you know what I mean? Like it's just more, it's more fun that way, you know. We have like more people come in and we can complain about our post Merdeka or pre Merdeka scam experiences. Yeah, so has anybody ever been scammed before? Yeah, I feel like this is just me, you know, like wanting to know that like at the very least like some other human beings have experienced, you know, the same thing as I have experienced very recently right here. There is this word actually that is kind of appropriate right here. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, like you can actually see my like search history right there. Yeah, it was like literally like bank call. Okay, but there is this word which is fun. It is called Schadenfreude. So like that means basically pleasure derived by someone from another person's misfortune. So this is what it is, you know what I mean? Like yeah, like the enjoyment of feeling somehow that like somebody else is suffering, therefore, like your life is now peachy keen or amazing or great. Yeah, so do we get anybody else? Okay, nobody else has been scammed before. Great. You know what? This is good. Like, you guys are amazing. This is my scam recovery live stream right here. And yeah, I need to recover from everything that I experienced, that I lost, that my entire soul was damaged by. All right, are you ready? Now, I'm gonna reveal to you I'm gonna reveal to you. I'm gonna reveal to you the grand amount that I got scammed for. This is what it is. This is so unfortunately sad. Crypto scam. 1x lost $20. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Wow. Like, but you crypto scam $20. Phew. I feel like my mind just broke there. I mean, like crypto and then like $20. Wow. Like, okay, like this is the universe is kind to you, Isabella Hoy, and that is amazing. I mean, like, cause when you say like you got scam and crypto, like the numbers like just don't match. Like when I think like crypto, I would think like $20. But if that money was important to you, like I mean, I'm sorry to hear about that. Like it's never a great experience to have yourself get a scam gun. I mean, like you earn that money like in like your work or like anything else out there. So it's not good to lose something, but at the same time, like I'm glad that it wasn't worse out there. And John, yeah, so like there definitely is a national fraud hotline. Thank you for that. That is something to consider. I did not know that that existed. I'll check it out for sure. But for now, I'm gonna reveal to you the sheer amount that I got scammed for. It is so sad. I was scammed, ladies and gentlemen, for the grand total of $6. It pains me. You don't know why it pains me. It's six whole US dollars. And why it pains me is that you thought that I was going to buy cosmetics and that I was not going to notice $6 for cosmetics. If I were sad, it would be because I feel insulted at this point. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like if you're gonna scam someone, if you're gonna have somehow like access to my card number and you have access somehow to some weird mechanism that allows you to like basically go out and take my money, you only decided to take $6. Like, how little respect do you have for me, bro? Like, come on, like you would expect that maybe like the guy would be all like, oh, all right, cool, like let's take a good old 6K right there. Oh, all right, great, amazing. Touch wood, touch wood, touch wood. Like, let's hope that they don't like go out there and like continue right there, assuming that there's a security compromise and everything. But yeah, I mean, like, wow, like I had $6 taken away from me. I don't know why. It is from a cosmetics company. I don't buy cosmetics. I searched through my emails and like I did not find any cosmetics whatsoever. I do not remember the last time. And look, like it's not a toxic masculinity thing. Like, look, like I have here some aloe vera gel. I will apply aloe vera gel onto my face right now just to convince you that like it is not because it is a toxic masculinity thing. Like, look, hydration, right? Everybody needs good old fashion, hydration. We're getting old, bros. We're getting old, sapoops. Like, time is not moving backwards at this point in time. It is only moving forward. Arthur Eddington was absolutely right when he was like observing that, like, the entire track of like human existence only goes forward and you can never go back in time. So I am an old sapoop, I am a scammed sapoop, and I am indeed, like at this moment right here, an aloe vera gel covered sapoop who has lost $6. That is what it is. Tara Devi, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream where I discuss how I was egregiously scammed for $6. Like when people laugh, like, and it just combines together with the tears right here. Like, there are so many different possibilities for why it could have happened right here. Is he genuinely sad? I feel like I actually am, like, genuinely sad for the person who tried to scam me. Like, why did you even do that? I don't understand. But the whole canceling the card thing is like a real thing. Like at this point, I have to wonder how I'm actually going to be doing like purchases with that specific account. And yeah, so like if you wanna help me recover or something, like feel free to contribute so that like I recover from like my scamming right here, and my emotions are no longer tergugat, and like I can now finally be at peace right here. But I do want to say at the moment, well, this is something to really think about right here. And at the same time, though, I mean, like, it is my birthday. So, like, thank you all for coming by and listening to my dramatizing right here. It's kind of a fun little experience, really, for me to, like, learn how to live stream. And yeah, it's a pleasure to actually be a part of this little journey with you all here. So it is kind of interesting, by the way, because like my birthday is literally one day after Merdeka, and it's also fun, by the way, because I was like thinking about like all of this right here, and I think I've come to like a bit of a conclusion right here about my life, the universe, and everything out there. But meanwhile, we have some messages in the chat right here. John says, Tara, thank you for the wish. I really appreciate it. Thank you. From a random internet sapupu who is like on the other side of the screen right here. Deeply appreciate it. Thank you. John, scammers will not go huge amount because each bank has a safeguard threshold before they will flag the transaction and call you if unusual activity detected. They want to fly under the radar. Yeah. I heard somewhere that like when it comes to like this AML circumvention, like when I say AML, I mean like anti-money laundering, because like there are like certain laws, right, for like AML. Then there's also like CFT, which is like countering of terrorist financing type thing right there, which is like a whole universe of like different things right here. I mean, like they have like analysts basically like doing like fraud detection, machine learning algorithms. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like that is totally possible. I mean, like they definitely do want to fly under the radar. And we have also here some lotion application advice. Like this is very good. Thank you, Tara Devi West. I mean, like you learn something every day. I mean, like when you say outward right here, okay, I don't know, like outward. Wow, I'm getting so moisturized today. Like wow, I'm like this year's old right now. Like I feel like because of your advice, I'm gonna like reverse my age in time. I don't know. Yeah, but it is what it is. Anyway, so yeah, that's like the fun little story about how I got scammed. But actually, it's a bit of a disturbing thought right here, which I'll go into in a little bit. But for now, I did say that I want to tell you a little bit about like the whole Merdeka, like one day after Merdeka thing right here. I am convinced that I am a discount baby. When I say a discount baby, by the way, like this is literally, by the way, from the hospital that like I was born at right here. It is the Johor Specialist Hospital. I no longer live in Johor, but like I was once upon a time at the Johor Specialist Hospital. You have here also this good old-fashioned baby's sweetest moment, but unfortunately it is completely blank, which indicates that I was traumatized as a baby. I I did not have a sweetest moment. That's very sad. I mean, like, it's maybe because, like I got scammed, and notice that I'm like putting this right here in scare quotes, scam, and therefore even retrospectively throughout the entire history of time right here, I cannot be happy. But anyway, like here are some fun pieces of information which you may be interested to consider right here. Okay, what do we have right over here? Great. All right. Have a look at them apples right over here. These are my birth cert details right here. Born 10:59 a.m. on September the 1st. There we have it. Like the weight at birth 3,325 grams, length at birth 50 cm, and hip circumference 34 cm. So like this is proof, that I'm not like I'm not like a like illegal. I'm a real human being right here who happened to be born in Malaysia, blue IC. Like it's a real thing. Born on September the 1st. But here's a sad fact for you. I am probably a discount baby. And thank you, Isabella. That is that is much appreciated. Thank you for the support. Yeah, so like, oh my gosh, we are on our way to recovering from scamming. But genuinely appreciate it. Thank you for that contribution. Yeah, John. So like, aloe vera is amazing. This is really great. Like we can like apply this more, I suppose, to moisturize our faces before we convert ourselves into water element like organisms, so to speak. But anyway, so going back to the whole baby and child thing right here. So fun fact for you, I don't know if you know this, but if a doctor works on a public holiday, so meaning Merdeka, so then what happens is that you end up paying double the rate. So that in my case, so my mom had a cesarean because apparently I was sitting down like a Buddha, right? When I was about to be born. Normally like what happens with babies who come out by natural birth is that like they will literally flip over, right? I don't know, like some weird like gymnastics baby thing right there. And then like later on, then the mom is gonna be like, oh, okay, like you know what? I'm not gonna put you through. I'm not gonna put you through like a real simulation right here. But like that's apparently what happens right here. You have to take my word for it. Like if you've experienced it before, that I'm sorry. Like for remembering for you like all the traumatic memories. If you haven't experienced it before and that was like totally something that you did not want to think about, like I'm sorry as well. If that was all fake news, then please excuse me. I'm a stupid man. Like it's just my birthday today. Please have mercy on me because I'm a scam victim and I got scammed. I was robbed. And the person who scammed me only thought to take away $6. That's very unfortunate. All right, cool. So great. In any case, now, because there was a discount, therefore, my mom decided to go with that. My family decided to go with that. And thus, I am a discount baby. That is what I am. Look at me right here. This is basically a face that says 50% off. This is what it is. The universe has thrown an unjustness in my general direction right here by essentially subjecting me to this weird SP Cosmetic. What even is SP Cosmetics? Like, can we even find this brand online? SP Pure Cosmetics. Like, this is what the scammer basically like represents right here. And I say scammer, by the way, because like again, like there's a bit of a dark side right here. But I am seriously curious right now. Like, does this even exist? Like, is it even real? Like, do you even like have a real internet presence to the point that you decided that you wanted to scam me for some reason or another? I don't know. Like the answer to that question. Look at this. Okay, SP Pure Cosmetics. Do you even exist? What? Even you're not even a real company and you incorporated and then you basically like just ended up taking my money for a reason that I don't know, by a means that I don't even understand. And actually this is where I'm going to go into a little bit of like that financial safety thing right here, which I think is going to be important for me to think about and for you to think about if you haven't really like thought about it before. So I mentioned at the start, right, of all of this that like I hope that you guys have never been scammed before. Yes, that's right, Chia Che Hong. RM6 and cry like a baby. That's right. I mean, like, we have the baby and child clinic here. What, you want me to like have false advertising? You know, like I literally dug up my bursar for this live stream, bro. Like, if I don't cry like a baby for all of you right here, if I don't abandon my shame and like do at least this right here, I will never recover from this like scamming right here, which is, by the way, not even a scam. But anyway, yes, I will gladly cry even more tears for you. Donate, donate. No, I'm kidding. All right. But having said that, though, genuinely, I don't take any of this for granted, and I did, by the way, receive well, a nice, kind contribution from one of you. In fact, John Smith, whose very kind birthday wish was translated to this right here just the other day. Thank you, John. I really appreciated it. And I thought I would show you actually also like what I got along the way, which is something that I really appreciate as well. So like we got like this, so like a sushi bowl and some sashimi, which is about 100 ringgit. So I figured that like okay, it's fish, it's rice, that kind of thing. And yeah, like it was really nice. Thank you so much for that fun experience, for sure. So yeah, I mean like, but again, I don't like take generosity for granted. Give if you feel that like it is within your means, if it is within the alignment of your heart for some reason or another, but I don't expect it. But if you feel that there is some meaning, for example, in contributing towards this work, then feel free to go right ahead. But anyway, now let's talk a little bit about this idea of why it was disturbing, right, that this happened. So as you know, a few things. Number one, right, there isn't actually a real company that's involved in this. And number two, I tend to be a very careful person, in fact. So something that a lot of people will probably realize, right, if they try to contact me over the phone, I almost never pick up. And I know that this sounds bad, right? But like, if you happen to have my number for some reason or another, and you call me, I will usually not pick up the phone. I will almost never pick up the phone straight away, okay? So what I do instead, right, is I use this app that's called Truecaller. So then, yeah, if anybody wants to like develop a second order strategy to deal with Truecaller, then like, okay, like by all means, right there. But it's basically this app, right, where I can go right ahead and just search up like a person's number straight away. And it is actually going to give me the name of the person who is involved right here. So I am going to go right ahead, right, and ask you right here, send me a random phone number, okay? Send me a random Malaysian phone number, okay? Like any random Malaysian phone number that you can think of right there, just like send me a random one and let's actually like try it out. Let's try it out, let's try it out, let's try it out. Yeah, so like this is what it is right here. Ooh, Nick Fadley, welcome over to this live stream. Yeah, so I don't know who actually did that, but again, right, like it's not exactly like a scam per se. I'll explain why in a quick bit, but like go ahead and send me a random phone number. Unless of course like you're wondering like who this person is right here and you don't want to send over a random phone number. But like maybe like something like low risk, low possibility or probability of casually being kecam right here. No, it's a genuine challenge. Like think about it. Like this could be a crazy person right here, and like you might just not get any information whatsoever. But how about this? I am wow. I can't like really list out a really famous person per se. But okay, what I can do maybe is something like this right here. Hold up. So when I get like these random calls, right, one thing that I tend to do, right, is I just open up Truecaller and let's see, right over there. Okay, great. Yeah, see this? So this is an example of a Truecaller identified number right here. If you put this in, if you've ever received a call from this number before, like basically this is safe really as like a scammer by like a bunch of people. If you don't know how Truecaller works, basically what happens is that like when you sign up, right, you put in your phone number and then it basically populates you into a database. And then like it takes all your contacts, right, and like what you save people as. So that it has a distributed database that are like maybe like a million people who all have like Truecaller or anything like that. And like basically what this means is that you can actually check, right, who is actually a scammer or otherwise. It's probably okay to share this with you because like yeah, you can actually like search up like any random number that you want, right? And it can usually identify it for you unless of course there is no history of like a person like using the number kind of thing. If they register a new number and nobody has actually dealt with it before, then like you will probably not get any sort of result. So yeah, well, if one day you guys like dare to actually like share a random number, then we can actually do a fun little check right there. Like, is it actually real? Is he actually like making fun right here? Yeah. But it's okay. I mean, like you guys are not so daring yet. It's good. Because of course, if you are too daring, then like that's not good either. You know, you might end up in like some trouble. There's a big difference between being brave and well having a foolhardy nature. It's probably for the best that you're not sharing a random phone number. But you know, if you want to, at any point in the middle of this live stream, if you want me to test out Truecaller, then we can go right ahead and give it a go. Anyway, so let's talk about why like this whole thing was disturbing in the first place. And for those of you actually who just came in and were not privy to the discussion before, so I got scammed for a grand total of unknown amount of money right here, okay, by a oh I kind of revealed it already. Okay, I got scammed for a grand total of $6 from this company right here, which is a so-called cosmetics company. I don't know why they scammed me. I don't know how it happened. Why don't I know how it happened? Because, well, again, I don't answer calls from random people. I don't pick up like random phone calls or anything. And I have no idea like what kind of thing it could have been. Like I thought about it, right? And actually the most logical or possible possibility, right, could be that there was actually, and this is actually like interesting, right? Like it is the only thing that I thought of that could possibly be the reason. Oh, you gave me a number? Really? Oh, interesting. Maybe what's happening actually is that well, YouTube is like filtering it out. So like maybe if you what you can do is that you can like send it out in parts, like maybe like part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of thing, or you like maybe like just make it kind of like an obvious separation kind of thing, or like you write it out in like letters, like for example 0 0 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, I mean like it's a bit inconvenient, but I think like it might be necessary because like I think that there's probably like a filtering process right there. Okay, so there is actually this thing right here that I have noticed happening recently, and I am a bit concerned about this, honestly. So on YouTube, right? And this is actually in my Gmail at the moment. I have started seeing that on YouTube, right? Like I get actually all of these mails, right, from YouTube. They're actually official YouTube, and they share these private videos with me right here. So like if I think about every single thing that I do, right, I'm extremely careful with how I actually like share out my information, how I actually like access like different things. I don't click random links, I don't click random messages, and I advise people to like not do those things, right? So I think that that's literally the only possible thing which we could have. Oh, Isabella, there we go. All right, numbers. Okay, great. Let's try Truecaller for a quick bit, and let's investigate whether there is something that we can actually use right here. Okay, so what's the number? 0 1. Whoops, sorry. You should have been there though. Let's see. Ah, okay. All right, identified by Truecaller. All right, you can tell me actually like once this ad stops playing whether it's actually real. Did it actually manage to identify the person? And yeah, let's see. skip X. It says here DG. Look at that. Now, I don't know who DG is, right? And, it's a one. Okay. Let's try it again. So, one is it? Insert random phone number here. Okay, let's try it. All right, it's identified by Truecaller again, and we have here like an interesting little test. No, come back up, camera. Sorry, this happens like once in a while because like I have I don't know, like this weird habit that's happening with my camera whenever I do. Oh shit. Okay. Hey, I don't know if I should share this on the live stream. Do I have your permission to share this right here? Because like, I'm pretty sure that like, all right, you know what? Okay, if you feel strongly about this, right? Tell me, and I will edit this out of the live stream a little bit later on. This entire section, but yeah, that is what happened. So like I was actually able to tell, right, that that was your number. I didn't do anything except for put in a number and it identified you as basically being the owner of that account. Like it associated you and your real name with that number. So you see, this is a very, very efficient way, right, of like actually checking who actually contacts me before like they even like end up talking to me or they even end up like say speaking with me in any way. Like I already have that like filter straight away. Yeah, so now John Smith, did I make any purchase on any e-commerce site recently with my card? If there is a gap in security, they can retrieve my credentials. Yeah, maybe. Um, but the only real sites where I did make purchases were either Shopee or Lazada. So then like I don't think it would have been any platform apart from Shopee or Lazada. So I mean, if there were, then it would be a pretty major like security vulnerability, right? But like I don't know what exactly happened. See, the thing is, right? Like whatever it was, so then there was no OTP, right? Like they didn't say like, oh, like we need you to like give an OTP. So usually like the thing is, right? Like if you are making a transaction, regardless of what the amount actually happens to be, then there will be an OTP. I guess that maybe, right? Like if we were to really think about like say Shopee, Lazada, whatever have you right there, you know, in some cases, you know, when you have the buy now type situation right there, then in that case, right, then maybe you don't need an OTP. But I consider that unlikely. So what I can say is just that I don't really know how it happened. I don't think that there was really like a compromising of like my details in any way. I don't think I clicked any link apart from the private video. But even when you look at a private video, for example, right? Like there isn't really any script, right, that would run really on YouTube, like on your screen right now. Like just think about it, right? Like imagine that like right now, you just like randomly click a YouTube video on your screen, right? Then it ends up like resulting in a scam. Like that, I think doesn't make sense, right? But this is what we have here at the moment, right? Which is how I ended up losing $6. Yeah. So I guess like what I'm trying to say is that like guys, maybe like what you should do, right, is you should be like careful. And like I can tell you also like what I'm going to try to do in the future. So like what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use the account that I have right here, which you can see down below, to just continue to like receive money, right? But I'm gonna put my assets in like say other accounts kind of thing. Cause like even like if you think about it, right? Like technically, if you are one of those people out there who is a victim of something out there, right? Then like things can get bad, right? If you don't like split your assets up across like multiple different places. I've seen like people like literally get scammed for like different reasons, right? And I don't think it's entirely a matter of intelligence, you know what I mean? Like when we say intelligence right here, so like a lot of people like we tend to think in our society, right? Like it's got to do with like cognition, like how smart are you, like academically? Are you clever? Like can you do math? That kind of thing. But actually no, right? Like anybody can fall for a scam. Like I have seen people who are doctors, people who are like lawyers, right, fall for all sorts of different varieties and flavors of scams, one after another, and seemingly, right, with no connection to like their so-called level of intelligence, you know? Like in some cases, you might even be tempted to conclude like, you know, the smarter they are, the more likely they are to be scammed. But I realize that like when it comes to statistics, you actually need a sample, and I can't really conclude that. But like I am almost tempted to believe that somehow or another there's a morality in the universe, and somehow or another, if you are the kind of person who says, I am so smart, I can never be scammed, then maybe then the moral scales of the universe will say, look, this guy's an let's make sure that he loses everything. I don't think that that's actually how the world works. I don't think that's how things generally work. But like it is sort of plausible right there. Yeah. So okay, yeah, sure. All right, so thank you, Isabella. Yeah, I'll try to do that, and I'll repost the live stream a little bit right there. Okay, great. But thank you for trying though. I mean, like it was, I think, like probably one of the most shocking demonstrations probably that you might have seen right there. I will edit it. So again, so like thank you for well taking part in that demonstration. When you think about well what happens actually out there on the internet, that yeah, these kinds of weird things, right? Like they can happen like day in and day out. But in any case, right? Like if you look at this right here, so like a scam actually would just mean a dishonest scheme or a fraud, right? And when you say dishonest, right, like you might think to yourself like the more intelligent you are, right, then the better you are going to be at like dealing with deceit. But then like the question is, right, what if, for example, right, like in this age of like AI technology and stuff like that, right, like you find yourself a victim of like voice phishing. Like for example, right, like I imitate, for example, the voice of your child, right? And like somehow or another, like you think to yourself that like you are actually listening to your child saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, I got caught from school today. I cannot. I need you to talk to the man." And then like it turns out right that actually your kid right was not really even like taken away, right? But it was actually an AI generated voice. Like I think I've showed you guys before, right? Like on this channel, like for those of you out there who have watched like the AI anthem of Zara Kyrina, right? You probably would have seen that like I showed you guys this technology that is basically called 11 Labs. So like it allows you to generate music, yes, but it also allows you to generate voices. So like it's one of those like highly technological text to speech platforms, right? Which allow you to actually like do this sort of thing. And when you are in a situation where you're like listening to something across the phone, right? You're just listening to the voice and you're thinking to yourself, okay, look, like if I don't do this within 5 minutes, if I don't transfer over 50,000 ringgit, like within this short period of time, then what's going to happen is that I am going to end up losing my child, right? Like at that point, right, then like your emotions are going to take over. Like somehow or another, if you know like behavioral economics, you know Daniel Kahneman, system one, system two. System one is like basically like your, well, fast moving limbic emotional system. You don't really like even think at this point. You know, like you just like use heuristics like, okay, danger, run away. Like heat, move your hand away from the pot. And then like system two would be like the high reasoning, like, oh my gosh, let me like reflect upon this for a long period of time for like the next 1 hour or so until I come up with the most well constructed, well intentioned, well thought of idea right here. So this is the thing, right? You do not, under all circumstances, have the flexibility to use your system two, right? Like if it's a sensitive situation, if you feel like, oh, you know, like this person is going to be like targeted or whatever have you right there, then you might also refrain, right, from using like your system two. Like you might just go with system one, like straight away, like immediately, right? It's just like snap of the fingers. So when we think about scamming right here, I mean, like people can deceive you for like so many different reasons, and it doesn't have to do with your pattern recognition right there, and it doesn't have to do with like your intelligence necessarily. So people can actually use a lot of different methods in order to cause you to get scammed. So just because somebody is scammed, right, or get scammed, so like maybe don't like just treat them as like, oh, you were stupid, therefore you get scammed. Because like honestly, it can happen to anyone, and it can happen to you as well. So the question is like, how do you actually deal with that? Yeah, like I have reported to the bank. Thank you, Sean. That's absolutely a thing. And yeah, so like I don't know about like the BNM just yet. So then when you say like force the bank to conduct an audit on your controls, that's actually a very good suggestion. And I am going to consider taking that. And as a matter of fact, actually, I'm gonna take a screenshot right now of the message that you well provided right there and were kind enough to share, because I think actually it's important, right? Like that somehow or another we normalize an understanding, right, of like how to not get scammed in our society. Like if we think about it, I mean, like we have a whole bunch of different sorts of laws, right, in order to make sure that, like, for example, well, when you lose money, for example, then you can deal with it, right? Like in the US, for example, like there's this idea of like what we call like the FDIC. That's basically a law, right? That makes it so that like the federal government is going to guarantee, well, a grand total of up to 250,000 US dollars worth of your deposits, right, for each individual account. So that technically, if you wanted to, you could protect yourself across like multiple different accounts, right? By saying, look, I'm gonna spread everything out across like multiple different accounts, and like I'm not going to be subject to that. But of course, you know, if you are dealing with a scam, right? So you have to be aware, right? Like especially in those situations where like you are being held, for example, at either ransom or like trust or something like that, then you have to consider also, right? Like what can happen in that situation is that you lose everything. Literally, you lose everything. Like, and then they tell you, like, look, like you don't call the police. Otherwise, if you call the police, then like you will get in trouble. And a classic example would be like the whole, oh, this is a police officer. I'm gonna call you right now. Let me pass you over to the next officer. Oh, this officer says that, oh, you need to go over and then you need to like perform this step, that step, this step, that step. And bear in mind, right? Like these people, they've been doing this for like years upon years on end. They have experience with the psychology. They know how everything is happening right there. It's like kind of when you take an exam and you take the past year paper and you know everything so well, right? That you understand like how people will react in every single situation. If he freaks out, then basically, oh, maybe like you respond by like offering assurance. Say that you want to protect them. Then like, oh, if he gets angry, then basically withdraw, but at the same time, you know, like use another tactic. Like these people, they understand like how to deal with the entire situation across multiple different interlocking pipelines of possible decision trees. You know what I mean? It's like they have a literal like possibility of dealing with this type of situation right here. So the best way is just to not engage, which is also one reason, right, why I don't tend to deal with people's phone calls like straight away. Because like I know for a fact, right, like if a person can even like say reach me like via the phone, that kind of thing. When it comes to like say personal number, right? So like that's the thing, of course, like from work and everything like that, right? The way I think about it is if I met you in a social situation, I would already have your number, right? So then for that reason, I am able to know like who you are, like if you do choose to call me. If I get a call from a random number, am I likely to think that it's a random opportunity? Probably not. If let's say, for example, that I'm going to offer, let's say, university applications consulting, which is something that I do, presumably it would have been because somebody referred me to another person, therefore I can talk to that person. Or I can pass that number on to like any of the tutors that I happen to work with. And by the way, like if any of you are interested in like say part-time work as like tutors or anything out there, feel free to drop a message via your email. So then like I do run like an academy, so like that is basically offering coaching to students, SAT, IGCSE, A levels, etc. So like it's education related. Feel free to do that if you're interested in working together. But digressing from that, so there are very few situations where I would just need a random number, right? And then like just be like pining and waiting for the phone to ring and for like that random person to save my life. No. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not the kind of person who thinks to himself, like, I will get a random call and then it will save my life. No. You know what? You would think to yourself that, like, okay, like, there is this notion of fate, right? But, like, for me, I made an internal trade off, like, with my life, right? Like, that, like, okay, yes, I am beholden somehow to the vagaries of fate. But at the same time, right, like, I am safe enough to be able to know, like, that who I am, where I am right now in life is such that I am not going to be beholden to random people calling to offer me random opportunities, because I simply don't believe that, like, listening to or engaging with people, the expected value of doing that with a random person, right, is worth it. And if you are in that situation and you're listening to this right now and you somehow are reliant on every single phone call and every single person who is going to call you right here, and you're trying to think to yourself, oh, I need to find out, like, who this person is, like, what they are doing and everything out there, right? Can I make a suggestion to you as a fellow human being? Please, like, move away from that. Like, don't be reliant on this sort of situation. It's not in your interests and everything like that. And I hope that if you are reliant in that way, that you will have a better situation out there. Anyway, I know that most of you are about to head off for dinner already, and I did say that it was going to be a short one today. But anyway, yeah, so, like, that's the tale of how I got scammed, so to speak. It's kind of an interesting experience out there. I don't think I would want to repeat that somehow, but I still don't know exactly how it happened. I heard from Izati's video the other day. If you don't know Izati, so she's a friend of mine who talked a little bit about how her friend, right, got scammed the other day. And basically, this friend is actually in, like, the fintech industry. And even somebody who was so aware, right, could actually get scammed like that. So she recommended at that time that, like, you find a way to actually, like, put your money into a place where it cannot be touched, like within the bank or anything else out there. I'm not saying that you should go out there and then, like, take out 170 million the way that maybe, like, certain politicians happen to do. But I would say that, like, maybe one piece of advice I might offer is just distribute, right, your assets across, like, different accounts. And ideally, not one of them is going to be, like, something that you cannot lose, right? Because you have to bear in mind that, like, yes, we have this idea that, like, financial security comes from a single bank account, right? But in reality, I think in the same way that, like, we understand intuitively, right, that, like, we cannot rely on just one thing, right, to give us, like, security or sustenance out there. I think that in a VUCA world, basically, you do need to, like, strategize in, like, some ways, shapes, or forms. Like, it's unfortunate, right, that we live in this broken world where this sort of thing can happen, but it offers an opportunity for growth, I think. And it is an objective fact, I think, that we are living in a world where this sort of thing exists, where there's this sort of desperation, but also where I think that even in the midst of this challenge, right, I feel grateful that I'm able to speak to all of you right now and to somehow, like, be able to share this experience, right, that I had, which I hope somehow or another is going to be a good thing for you, right, as you kind of, like, go through this experience. Well, what I just want to say at the end of this live stream is I hope you don't get scammed, some poops. Like, nobody should get scammed. And yeah, I hope that all scammers will get the death penalty. That's a fact. And I wouldn't just hope that they get the death penalty. I would hope that they just automatically, like, are punished by the universe in different unpredictable and unfortunate ways, which are probably, from our perspective, like, fortunate, because the fewer of them there are in this world, the better. Even considering, right, that there are, like, scam facilities and people who make this into an entire business out there. But yeah, I'll be thinking about, like, how to deal with, like, the laws and everything out there. And yeah, so thank you once again for being a part of this live stream. And Isabella, yeah, thank you as well, and for participating in this live stream. I'll try to edit out your number and then republish if I can right there. So, like, hopefully then that's not going to show up in any way. I should probably not mention your name, should I? But I mean, like, okay, like, as long as it's not, like, a full name, then, like, I guess it's probably okay. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. So thank you again, for your wishes and for joining this live stream. Thank you for figuring out what happened to me along the way. I deeply appreciate it. And yeah, so Have a good one ahead. Enjoy the rest of your public holiday and your Monday, 1st of September. And thank you for joining me on my birthday. Subscribe.